Am I audible? Am I audible now?
Yes,
Okay. So let us actually once let us just see what we have learned yesterday. Let's recap what we have learned yesterday. Okay. So mitosis occurs near the cell division of mitosis occurs near the tissues, or you can say occurs near the organs. Mitosis occurs near the tissues or organs other than reproductive organs. This means that mitosis does not occur near the reproductive organs, but mitosis occurs near tissues or organs, like you can say like mitosis occurs near the stomach tissue, or you can say like mitosis occurs near the bones, like that you can say. And uh, there are five stages of mitosis. There are prophase, prometaphase, metaphase, anaphase, and then last comes the telophase. After these are the five stages of mitosis. So before prophase comes a period of time which is known as nothing but interphase. Interphase comes at the beginning, which is before the prophase, and the cytokinesis, which is nothing but the last stage where the cells divide themselves. Cytokinesis occurs at the last. You can say cytokinesis occurs after telophase. Clear till now? So we have discussed till here. Now, how many members here read the module which I have actually sent in the group?
I haven't read.
Narendra, did you read? Type yes or no in the chat if you can't unmute yourself. Okay, so till Narendra types, let's start our today's class, which is nothing but on mitosis. Okay, so in today's class, we will see what is mitosis, sorry, what is meiosis, and uh, and we will go nearly like detail on meiosis, and we will also see the stages of meiosis. Okay, so unlike in mitosis, so in mitosis has we can say five stages, but in meiosis it contains two cell divisions. It contains two cell divisions. So if you see a picture which I am showing now, so here in this picture Here you can say there is interphase, then prophase 1, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and cytokinesis. So in mitosis, only stages till cytokinesis occur. But in meiosis, there are two cell divisions. Means from interphase to cytokinesis 1, and after that from prophase 2 to cytokinesis 2. So in in mitosis, we will get in mitosis we will get two cells after division. Two cells after division. But in meiosis, what happens in meiosis is you will get four cells. You will get four cells after division. So you can say that meiosis is more complex than mitosis. Mitosis is a little bit easy, but meiosis is a little bit difficult, or you can say a tough process. So let's get back into the module. So what is meiosis? Meiosis is a type of cell division that reduces the number of chromosomes in the parent cell by half and produces four gamete cells. I've already said that meiosis produces four gamete cells in it. This process is required to produce egg and sperm cells for sexual reproduction. Meiosis begins with a parent cell that is diploid, meaning it has two copies of each chromosome. So I have already said that meiosis, the meiosis cell division only occurs near the reproductive organs. So meiosis only happens near the reproductive organs. And meiosis begins with a parent cell. Not only meiosis, but mitosis also begins with a parent cell. And the parent cell, which actually is in mitosis, also diploid, and in meiosis also diploid. But sometimes, and during mitosis, the cell which is there, sometimes it also we can say that it also sometimes it can be haploid also. So in meiosis, the parent cell is diploid. So now in meiosis is a type of cell division. It takes two divisions to complete the process. The two divisions are meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So there are here we saw that the meiosis contains two divisions, which is meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So meiosis 1 consists of the five stages. The five stages are interphase, prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1, and cytokinesis 1. So there are two cell divisions. You can name the two cell divisions. The two cell divisions of mitosis, sorry, meiosis, not mitosis, of meiosis as meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So there are two cell divisions happening in meiosis. So in the meiosis 1, you can see interphase, prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1, and cytokinesis 1. So during the meiosis 1, we will get the end product as two daughter cells. And during the end of the meiosis 2, which is the end of the meiosis, we will get four daughter cells. And after the cytokinesis, there is another between the meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. There is a stage which is called as intermeiotic interphase. That that in that stage is between the meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Between meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, there is a you can say that between meiosis 1 and between meiosis 2, there is a stage which is not called as inter, intermeiotic interface. This is lies between the meiotic 1 and meiotic 2 division. So this in meiosis 1, you will contain all the interface, you will contain the interface, and you will also contain the prophase metaphase. But after prophase, each you will get, if it is of meiosis 1, you will get number like 1 here. So this prophase is of meiosis 1, so it contains one number here. So prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1, and cytokinesis 1. And after that, same as the meiosis also, here as the, you can see that this is the second division. Here also you will get prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, telophase 2, and at the end cytokinesis 2. So now let's get with meiosis 1. Before getting into meiosis 1, is anyone having any doubt? Is anyone having any doubt? Okay. So now let's get into the meiosis 1. So meiosis 1 interface. So let's go deeper more about interface. So in interface, the DNA in the cell is copied, resulting into two identical full sets of chromosomes. Outside of the nucleus are two centrosomes, each containing a pair of centrioles. These structures are critical for the process of cell division. Uh, let it be let it be mitosis or let it be meiosis. For both of these, there is a important cell organelle which is needed to uh, to run the process of the cell division. There is a important organelle. Can anyone say what is that organelle? Except nucleus?
Cytoplasm,
No, not cytoplasm.
DNA.
No. Narendra, you can type or you can actually say unmute yourself. Narendra is there in the class, I think. Yes, he is there in the class. Okay. So let me say. So there is an organelle known as centriole. This organelle, which is centriole, is very essential for cell division. Essential for cell division. So centriole is the. Uh, is anyone saying anything? Okay. So centriole is the main organelle, which is essential for mitosis and meiosis, other than nucleus. This what is the work of the centriole is? Centriole centriole helps in the creation of spindle fibers. If you remember in yesterday's class, we have said why these spindle fibers are essential.
Yes, because they pull the chromosomes.
Yes, because spindle fibers help in the separation of the chromatids, or you can say the arms of the chromosomes. So this is the main function which the centriole does. And during interphase, the DNA in the cell is copied, which actually means you can say that the interphase one or the interface, you can say the interface only. So during the interface, you can say that the cell replicates DNA, which which actually gives us two, you can say like diploid number of chromosomes. You can say it replicates to give us diploid number of chromosomes. So during interface, if there are 23 pairs, it again replicates these 23 pairs. It replicates and then makes 46 pairs. So you will get after interface during the you will get in the cell after interface, you see that the cell contains nearly 46 pairs of chromosomes. So during interface this happens, and also outside of the nucleus are two centrosomes, each containing a pair of centrioles. These structures are critical for the process of cell division. So outside the nucleus there are pair of, is anyone saying anything? Okay. So outside the nucleus, there are a pair of centrioles. So you can say that the centrioles, if they are in a group, they are known as centrosomes. So there are a pair of centrioles. These structures are critical for the process of cell division because centrioles help in the secretion of some proteins, and those proteins are then converted into spindle fibers which gather the arms of the chromosomes and they divide itself. And during interphase, microtubules extend from these centrosomes. So there are microtubules which actually extend themselves from the centrosomes, which are nothing but the pair of centrioles, or you can say a group of centrioles. So this is the interface, and now we will see the prophase one. So prophase one, in the prophase one, the copied chromosomes condense into X-shaped structures that can be easily seen under a microscope. So during the prophase, during the prophase one, prophase, is the screen clear or it is blurred? Is screen clear or blurred?
It's clear.
Okay. So during prophase one, the DNA, which is actually being converted, replicated during the interface, the DNA condenses itself, condenses itself to form X-shaped shaped structures, which are nothing but chromosomes. Okay, so chromosomes actually are something like this. If you can actually see, let me show you an image of the chromosome. So a chromosome actually looks something like this. So like this, it is something like a X-shaped structure. I've already drawn here. It is something like the structure here, which I have drawn. What happened? Okay. So this is something like the structure I've drawn there. So this is a chromosome. So inside the chromosome there is nothing but the DNA or the genetic material. So during prophase 1, the copied chromosomes condense into X-shaped structures that can be easily seen under a microscope. So the X-shaped structures are nothing but the chromosomes. The copied chromosomes are nothing but the actually the DNA. So each chromosome is composed of two sister chromatids containing identical genetic information. The chromosomes pair up so that the both copies of chromosome 1 are together. Both copies of chromosome 2 are together, and so on. So here in the second point you can see he is saying that each chromosome is composed of two sister chromatids. So here If you think, let me actually draw. Otherwise, 1 minute. Huh. So think that these two are the arms of the chromosomes. Think that these two are the arms of the chromosomes. So when these replicate, when these both divide themselves, these chromosomes, then this is nothing but the daughter chromosome. So this is daughter chromosome. Then what is the sister chromosome? When you actually enlarge the chromosome, the single chromatid, not the chromosome, a single chromatid, if you enlarge it, you can see that something is like this, which is actually being attached. So this is nothing but the sister chromosome or the sister chromatid. So these two are nothing but the sister chromatid. These both join to form one single chromatid.
Okay.
So, uh, so there is difference between daughter. So daughter chromosome, the replicated chromosome or the divided chromosome is made up of two sister chromatids. So when you divide one chromatid, you will get two sister chromatids. And I've also already showed you a picture that X-shaped chromosome one. If you see that picture, 1 minute, it's loading. So if you see that picture, here you can see the chromosome. Here there is one sister chromatid, and here there is another sister chromatid. Here also there is another sister chromatid. So these all sister chromatids are joined, are actually stick to each other using the centromere. So that is the chromosome. So during prophase one, the sister chromatids, each chromosome is composed of two sister chromatids containing identical genetic information. So during prophase, the chromosome which is there, the sister chromatids, which are nothing but these two, the sister chromatids contain similar, or you can say that the same genetic information. Same genetic information. So the sister chromatids, uh, they contain same genetic information during the prophase one. And if you see here, are we not going to discuss the stages of interphase? Are we going to discuss the stage interface and stages of interface is done. So during prophase, this all occurs. So the third point says the chromosomes pair up so that both copies of chromosome 1 are together. Both copies of chromosome 2 are together. So the chromosomes pair up till the chromosome 23, which is nothing but the last chromosome. So they pair up. The pairs of chromosomes may then exchange bits of DNA in a process called recombination or crossing over. So during the process of recombination, the during the process, the chromosomes actually exchange bits of DNA, which is nothing but the genetic material, into other chromosomes, so that the genetic material remains same throughout the cell. At the end of prophase 1, the membrane around the nucleus in the cell dissolves away, releasing the chromosomes. So during the, you can say, during prophase 1, the during prophase 1, you can say, as you can see, the the nuclear membrane, the nuclear membrane dissolves away. Membrane dissolves away. So, what happens if the nuclear membrane dissolves away? Can anyone say why? What happens when the nuclear membrane dissolves? Okay, so let me say that when the nuclear membrane dissolves, all the chromosomes which are there inside the nucleus get out of the nucleus and they get released into the cytoplasm. So here next is the meiotic spindle consisting of microtubules and other proteins extend across the cell between the centrioles. So the meiotic spindle consisting of microtubules and other proteins extend across the cell between the centrioles. So the spindle, which consists of microtubules and other proteins, they extend across the cell between the centrioles. Means you can say that actually they start preparing the spindle fibers and they start the enlargement process of the spindle fibers. This is the prophase one. Now we are going to metaphase one. So in the metaphase one, the chromosome pairs line up next to each other along the center of the cell. So the all the chromosomes gather together in the metaphase one. These centrioles are now at opposite poles of the cell with the meiotic spindles extending from them. The meiotic spindle fibers attach to one chromosome of each pair. So the centrioles are now at opposite poles. So you can say that if there is a cell, uh, let me show. Think this large circle as a cell. So now the centrioles which are there move to the poles and they start releasing the spindle fibers. So the centrioles start releasing the spindle fibers. So and these spindle fibers get attached to any one any one arm of the chromosome. So spindle fibers are attached to the chromosome in the metaphase one. I would be happy if this clears metaphase one. Now let's go to anaphase one. So in anaphase 1, the pair of chromosomes are then pulled apart by the mitotic spindle, which pulls one chromosome to one pole of the cell and the other chromosome to the opposite pole. In meiosis 1, the sister chromatids stay together. This is different to what happens in mitosis and meiosis 2. Okay, so here he is saying that during the anaphase 1, what happens is the spindle fibers which are attached to the chromosome. Think that this is a chromosome and this is a spindle fiber attached to each of the chromatid. So think that the spindle fibers pull these chromosomes apart, means the chromatids get separated. The chromatids get separated. So when these chromatids get separated, you can see that if these chromatids get separated, they get to the poles. Means if you can see here in the cell, the centrioles which are there, they pull the chromatids. So this arm will go here and this arm will go here. So like that they will do for 23 pair of chromosomes, so that there are the equal number of chromosomes stay here and they also stay here. So if there are 23 pairs, then you can say that uh, 23 chromosomes will go here and 23 go here, because there are 23 pairs. So when you convert them into chromosomes, there are 46 chromosomes. Then in 46 chromosome, here comes 23 chromosomes and here also comes 23 chromosomes. So now during anaphase 1, the chromosomes they split up. The chromosomes split up and chromosomes are pulled near the poles of the cell. This happens during anaphase 1. And after anaphase 1 comes the telophase 1, during telophase 1 the cell is nothing but pinched off like this. It forms a shape like this, where the nuclear membrane is also nuclear membrane is formed in telophase 1. So mainly to say during the telophase 1 the nuclear membrane is formed, and the pair of chromosomes, so let's continue with the module. The pair of chromosomes are then pulled apart by the meiotic spindle, which pulls one chromosome to one pole of the cell and the other chromosome to the opposite pole. In meiosis 1 the sister chromatids stay together. This is different to what happens in mitosis and meiosis 2. Okay, so during anaphase, this all happened now telophase, right? Okay. Sorry, I have actually told you about the anaphase. So now let's go to telophase. The chromosomes complete their move to the opposite poles of the cell. At each pole of the cell, a full set of chromosomes gather together. As I said, if there are 23 pairs, 23 gather to the one pole and another 23 gather to the other pole. A membrane forms around each set of chromosomes to create two new nuclei. The single cell then pinches in the middle to form a separate daughter cell, each containing a full set of chromosomes within a nucleus. This process is known as cytokinesis. So, before cytokinesis, let's discuss telophase 1. So, as I told, during telophase 1, the nuclear membrane, which is there, nuclear membrane forms. So, this is the process. In you can say that in telophase, only the nuclear membrane forms. And after telophase comes the cytokinesis, which is the last phase of the meiosis 1. During cytokinesis, the two cells, so the single cell which was actually like this, it actually pinches off itself and then forms two new cells, or you can say two daughter cells. Two daughter cells. This occurs during cytokinesis 1. Okay, so now we have actually finished with a meiosis 1. So now let's go to meiosis 2. In the Telegram channel, you will get all the notes and you will explaining from which I prepared.
Okay.
So now let's go with Prophase 2. Sorry, Meiosis 2. So now we have completed the first. Uh, I told you that there are two cell divisions. So we have completed learning about the first cell division, which is nothing but the Meiosis 1. Now let's start with Meiosis 2. So in Meiosis 2 also, Meiosis 2,
Hello.
yes, Narendra.
I'm having a class at 4 p.m.
Till that this class will complete till 4 p.m.
Okay.
Mm, okay. So in meiosis 2, you will also contain prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, but you will have a number 2 after each. So you will say if it belongs to meiosis 2, you will say that it's prophase 2. Narendra, can you mute yourself? Okay. So if the prophase my meiosis 2, you will say that it's prophase 2, phase 2, anaphase telophase 2. So let me just share my. Okay. So prophase 2, metaphase 2, and that all. So prophase 2. Now there are two daughter cells, each with 23 chromosomes, 23 pairs of chromatids. There is a huge difference between chromosomes and chromatids. Chromosomes are nothing but the X shaped. This is the chromosome. This, which is there here, if you actually divide this into half, there are two arms. So each of the arm is known as chromatids. So these arms are nothing but known as chromatids. So during prophase 2, we can see that there are two daughter cells and each contain 23 chromosomes. In each of the two daughter cells, the chromosomes condense again into visible X-shaped structures that can be easily seen under a microscope. The membrane around the nucleus in each daughter cell dissolves away, releasing the chromosomes. The centrioles duplicate. The meiotic spindle forms again. So you can say that mainly nothing happens much during the uh, prophase 2. You can say during prophase 2, again the nuclear membrane is dissolved. The nuclear membrane is again dissolved, and again the chromosomes which are present, or you can say the DNA which is present inside the chromosomes, they condense again into visible X-shaped structures. This happens in prophase 2. Now, if we this is prophase 2. Now let's go to metaphase 2. Okay, so I think there is maybe this much is only it can fit, I think, only 20 pages. So let me actually cell biology lecture 3 notes part 1. So let me actually open again a new Jamboard. Okay, so let me create a new Jamboard again. Narendra, is there disturbance from my side? Okay. So that was prophase 2. Now let's start with metaphase 2. So in metaphase 2, in each of the two daughter cells, that chromosomes, pair of sister chromatids line up end to end along the equator of the cell. The centrioles are now at the opposite poles in each of the daughter cells. Meiotic spindle fibers at each pole of the cell attached to each of the sister chromatids. So during, you will say that, you can say that during the hmm, so during the metaphase 2, what happens is the chromatid or the chromosomes gather again near the they gather again near the equator. So the chromosomes gather again near the equator, and also the centrioles which form spindle fibers, the centrioles which form the spindle fibers, they actually move towards the poles, not to the single pole, but they move to the opposite poles. They move to the opposite poles. This happens in metaphase 2. Now let's go with anaphase 2. During the anaphase 2, the sister chromatids are then pulled to the opposite poles. Uh, the separated chromatids are now individual chromosomes. So what happens in anaphase 2 is that again the chromosomes, or the chromosomes are again splitted into two parts, which are nothing but you can say they are split into two arms, and these two arms are moved to the poles. The spindle fibers pull the chromosomes to the poles. They are pulled by fibers. SF. I'm writing spindle fibers as SF. Happens in anaphase.
Yeah.
So phase two, nothing but uh, the during anaphase 2, the chromosomes again get separated and they come sorry, two poles. This happens in anaphase 2. Now let's get with telophase. So during telophase 2 genesis, let's discuss about telophase 2. Visible? What I'm writing is visible, right?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So during telophase happens is the nuclear membrane, the is again formed around the chromosomes. And this is again formed, and the mm, cell again form a shape like this, a dumbbell like shape. The During the telophase the shell forms a dumbbell like shape. And now after telophase comes the last stage and the final stage of the meiosis, which is nothing but the cytokinesis 2. During cytokinesis 2, during telophase the cell was something like this. So during cytokinesis 2, again the cell divide themselves. So during cytokinesis 2, you will get four cells because uh, s- m- uh, the meiosis 2 is happening in the two cells. Uh, we have saw that during meiosis 1, during meiosis 1, one cell gave us two new cells. This happened in meiosis 1. And now during meiosis 2, what happened is these two new cells. So this cell also performed and this cell also performed the meiosis 2. These two cells perform the meiosis 2. So these two cells again divide themselves. So this cell divided into two new, and this cell is also now divided into two new cells. So at the end, or you can say at the during the cytokinesis 2, 4, you will get four new cells. So this is nothing but the here the meiosis 2 ends, and also the chapter meiosis is also ended. The topic meiosis is ended here. If you see here, if you read
Okay.
here, what I explained is also what I explained is here. So here there is a picture to understand. What happened, Narendra?
No.
Okay. So here there is a picture that helps you to understand better about the meiosis. Uh, so today's class is done, and in tomorrow's class, you will have about karyotype. Do you have any
Okay.
idea about karyotype, Narendra?
No, I'm not aware about.
Okay. So tomorrow's class will be about karyotype, and tomorrow's class will be around 3 p.m. on Teachment app only. And you can
Okay.
also watch the recording. I'll share the notes right now only. After 10 minutes, I'll share the notes in the channel. Okay.
Okay.
So thanks for attending the class, and bye bye.
Thank you. Bye
Bye,
bye.
Narendra.
Bye.